Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're diving into a report about Chinese tourism. But hold on, this isn't really a travel show. We're going to use this industry as a fascinating window, a way to understand some huge, fundamental shifts and how all of our customers are starting to think and make decisions. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, think of this less like a tourism report and more like a mirror. We're digging into the 2026 China Outbound Travel Trends Report, which talked to over 300 travel agencies. And what it shows is this whole new consumer logic that goes way beyond just booking a flight. It's basically a perfect case study with lessons for pretty much anyone running a business today.
Okay, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll kick things off with a new, core skill every business needs. Then we'll look at the new deal breakers and what drives decisions now. After that, we'll get into the emotional heart of why people buy things. And then we'll wrap it all up with some clear, actionable lessons just for you.
All right, first up, this is probably the single biggest shift we're seeing. It's this move away from playing a game of scale, mass market, and moving toward a game of deep, specific understanding. The market isn't one big ocean anymore, it's more like 1,000 tiny ponds.
I mean, here's the change in a nutshell. The old way was just about volume. How many tickets can we sell? But the new reality is all about precision. It's not about getting more people to go somewhere. It's about creating the perfect experience for very specific groups of people, whose needs might be totally different from each other. And this brings us to what the report calls the most crucial new skill for any business: demand translation ability. This is basically the art of hearing a customer say something vague like, "I want to relax, but I don't want to be bored," and you being able to turn that fuzzy feeling into a real, concrete product they get excited about. And the data backs this up 100%. The old school, everybody on the big bus tour is fading. Just look at the fastest growing types of tours. Small and private tours are at the top, with almost half the agencies pointing to them. Right behind that is custom and high-end travel. People are paying for personalization, not for being in a crowd.
This is such a great example of what demands translation actually looks like. A trip to Japan isn't just one product anymore. For seniors, you sell a slow-paced, relaxing experience. For younger travelers, it's all about high-energy adventure and what's trending. Same country, totally different products. And it's all built by understanding the customer, not just the destination.
All right, on to our second section. We used to think of safety as just a basic expectation, right? It was a given. Well, not anymore. Now it's moved from the background right to the front of the line to become the absolute top priority.
Okay, just look at this data for a second. This is huge. When travel agencies were asked what has an extremely strong impact on a tourist choice, a massive 79% said safety. Get this, that's a 22-point gap over the next factor. Safety now dwarfs things we used to think were critical, like easy visas or direct flights. It's no longer just a feature, it's the ticket to even get considered.
But here's the catch. The idea of safety has gotten way broader. It's not just about, physical security. It's become this bigger comfort zone. It includes everything from feeling like the locals are friendly, to being able to use your phone to pay for stuff, to knowing there are people who speak your language if you need help. It's really about removing every possible source of anxiety. Okay, this next section is wild because it totally challenges a huge assumption most of us have about big purchases. We all think that the more expensive something is, the longer people spend planning for it. Well, the data tells a completely different story. So, just think about it for a second. How long would you take? A few months? 6 months, maybe? What do you think the most common booking window is for a major trip abroad?
The answer is kind of mind-blowing. It's not months. It's not even 1 month. The number is 47%. Just let that sink in. Nearly half. Yep, 47% of travelers book their international trip within 2 weeks of leaving. That is not a small fringe group, my friends. That is mainstream behavior now. This desire for spontaneity, for a pack-up-and-go feeling, is totally reshaping how people make huge financial decisions.
And this is why things like visa-free travel are so powerful. The report is super clear. The real value isn't about saving a little money on a visa. It's about reducing decision friction. It's about enabling that impulse to just say, you know what? I want to go now, and actually making it possible.
This brings us to our final consumer shift, and this one really gets to the heart of why people buy anything. We're seeing this move away from buying things to do and toward buying moments to remember.
So, let's look at winter travel. You'd probably assume that growth is all about skiing, but you'd be wrong.
The #1 driver is actually unique winter experiences, with over half of agencies saying so. Right behind that is seeing nature, like the aurora. Skiing itself, it comes in third. The activity isn't the main draw.
This line from the report just perfectly nails it. People aren't just buying the action of skiing down a mountain. They are buying the entire feeling, the atmosphere, the ritual of winter.
And these rituals are all about creating that unique, this moment only kind of feeling. It's not just about watching the aurora. It's about the hot cocoa you're sipping while you do it. It's not just sitting in a hot spring. It's the snow falling around you. These are the powerful, emotional moments that people are actually paying for.
So, the big question, what does all this mean for you, no matter what industry you're in? Let's take these big travel trends and distill them into some real, concrete lessons you can apply to your own business, like right now. Here are 4 key questions to ask yourself. First, are you talking about your customer's need for safety and comfort before you even mention your cool features? Second, how good are you at demand translation? Third, how can you remove friction and make it easier for people to buy from you right away? And finally, what's the core emotional experience, the ritual that you're really selling?
And this applies to literally everything. If you sell expensive furniture, lead with your warranty and repair service. That's safety. If you're a designer, your whole job is to translate that vague, cool office feeling into a blueprint. If you sell corporate services, maybe shortening your onboarding from weeks to just a few days could be your biggest competitive advantage. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one really powerful idea. Your customers are never just buying a product. They're buying a feeling, a solution, a sense of security, or a memorable ritual. So the real question this report leaves us with is this: do you truly know what your customers are really buying from you? Thanks for watching.